Hi and welcome back. So now that we have, just a quick remember, we had our flow files and they had attributes with CSV 1, 2, and 3. I want to show you how we can use these attributes to perform some operations on them and change our content. For this, we're going to explore what's called as the expression language. So let's look at it as an example, and then we'll look at the greater documentation for the expression language. So if you look at this replace text processor, we can configure it. Replace text is same as before. We replace everything in the text, but now the replacement value looks a little bit different. Remember, we want to create a JSON. So let's look at the replacement value, and I'm going to add a few new lines and spaces here so you can read it easily. Okay. So we have field 1 CSV1, field 2 CSV2, field 3 CSV3, field 4 CSV4. For those who are not familiar with JSON, the goal is basically to get field 1 A, then field 2 B, and so on. That's how a JSON is formed. But as you see here, we don't know it's going to be A, we don't know it's going to be B, and so on. We know it's the attribute CSV1, CSV2, CSV3, CSV4. So for this, we use the expression language, which is basically connotated. You know, it's the same as the expression language because it starts by $ and then open brackets, and then close the brackets, and anything within that bracket will be interpreted as an expression language. The simplest way to use it is right here. We basically $, open a bracket, and then you just put the attribute name. Remember, it was CSV1, CSV2, CSV3. And so this basically will say the new content will be field 1 with a colon, and then within the quotes, you will put the value of CSV1. Same for CSV2, 3, and 4. So the outcome should be field 1A, field 2B, and so on. So let's try that out. If we start it, we refresh, it went to success. We're going to stop it, and we'll list the queue. We see 3 files, and now the file size is 75 bytes, so the content has definitely changed. If we click on info, let's look at the attributes. They're exactly the same. No attributes has changed. But if we click on details and view the content, it's now 75 bytes. We see that it's field 1A, field 2B, field 3C, and field 4D. And that's valid JSON. So what happened is that it swapped the expression language CSV1 for A, for the value. So expression language is much more than just calling attributes and replacing them into your expression. If you Google NiFi expression language, there's a whole guide on it. So let's look at it real quick. The expression language is a very, very long document, and it shows you all the possible transformations you can apply. It gives you an overview. So basically, they tell you at its core, the structure is $ open bracket, then the attribute name. But then you can apply transformation on this. For example, your file name, if you want to put it into uppercase, you do $ file name, then colon to upper, which is the function to upper, and so on. So there's heaps you can do, and there's so many functions I won't go over all of them, but you can evaluate Boolean expressions, you can do some math, you can change strings. There's a lot to do. You can have conditional expressions such as greater than or less than. So you can say if file size is greater than 1024 bytes, then return true, else false. You can get really, really creative. The idea is you can start being extremely flexible because you can use your attributes to create whatever you want and manipulate these strings however you want. So have a look through the expression language guide. It's pretty advanced, but the one thing you should remember is that at its core, again, at its core, you should just be able to reference attributes by using this format, $ and then attribute name. Let's do something real quick right here. We're going to add field 5 being the attribute UUID, and then we're going to add field 6 being file name. Okay. So if I start it again, it's not going to do anything because we need to have something in the queue above to do something. So I'm just going to start every processor right here. And it created something, that's great. I can just stop. Now if we go in the queue right here, we have 4 matches. Let's look at the 4th one right here. It's 159 bytes. So as you can see, if you look at the content, now we have field 5 equal to the UUID attributes and field 6 equal to the file name attributes. So that's it. Very easy to use more attributes and define whatever flow file you want.